Hey guys, I know you heard me promote Blip billboards on the podcast many, many times. Not only are they a great company, but they're our great friends here on the podcast. Blip Billboards is doing a holiday promotion. Yes, the 2021 holiday season is going to be a big one, guys. Okay? And just 94% of U.S. adults plan to do holiday shopping, with 40% of those adults planning to spend more money than the previous years. 58% of individuals will shop earlier than in past years, and 31% reported that out of home ads centered around special offers and promotions are the most helpful. Guys, get ahead of your competitors by starting your holiday billboard campaigns early. Okay? And Blip has new billboards popping up all over the place, including Chicago, Illinois, Clement, Louisiana, Bolivia, North Carolina, and Youngsville, North Carolina, along with many, many other locations, guys. Just about every state now has a Blip digital billboard, okay? And also, too, guys, Blip gives back. Yes. Have you heard of their nonprofit program? Well, Blip gives back. With Blip's one-on-one matching program, any amount you prepay to your account will be matched by Blip to generate more awareness and donations for the important work you do. Just fill out an application today on their website and start spreading the word about your organization. Also, too, guys, why building brand awareness is critical. What you missed on earlier could save the life of many, guys. So join the Blip Digital Billboard Nation, okay, on their website. Head over to Blip Billboards. You can Google it, guys. It'll just pop right up. blipbillboard.com. Check them out today, guys. They're a phenomenal company. They work. We use them here on the podcast for our promotions, our advertising, and we love them, guys. They're not your average overexpensive company. They do work with your financial budget. You can set your daily budget as low as $5 a day, guys. Yeah, you heard me. $5 a day. Head over to Blip, guys. Sign up. Get on their awesome program and start promoting your product or advertising your product today, guys. You'll love them.
Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Flash Finds Podcast, the world's fastest podcast where we explore how Facebook can help you with the stuff you're into. I'm your host, Emma Rogue, and today I'm with creator and home decor guru, Julie Souza. Julie, what's your number one tip?
So if you're into home decor, I would suggest looking into Buy Nothing Facebook groups. It's a great way to explore your style, all for free.
Ooh, we love free stuff. Thanks, Julie. See you next time on the Flash Finds Podcast, all about discovering the stuff on Facebook you care about. Bye.
Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
In this country, you're going to realize the government does not give a fuck about them. Government doesn't care about you or your children or your rights or your welfare or your safety. It simply doesn't give a fuck about you. It's interested in its own power. That's the only thing keeping it. And
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Welcome. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. Got through the week. It's I'm telling you guys, been a crazy set of political narratives in the political world we live in today, the society, the era, the culture, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? Guys, I want to welcome you to a super Saturday here on the podcast, the Patriot Angle Podcast. I'm your host, Mike. For those who's just joining us here on the podcast, basically learning it for the first time, welcome to all my followers, new followers, and listeners. Also, my subscribers on Rumble, thank you very much for tuning in. Guys, we're going to be plugging in new content on Rumble as well as YouTube, which I'm very surprised of YouTube. They really haven't, kind of shadow banned us or censored us yet, kind of being fair to us. So very surprised to hear that, guys. Other than that, guys, I want to welcome you to basically a podcast that's very unfiltered, very unscripted, and very raw, guys. I give you the straight facts, the points, everything on this show, guys. I don't leave anything back. And like I always say, if it offends you, I'm sorry. This might not be the show for you. I highly suggest you tune into another show that basically sugarcoats everything for you. But on this show, guys, I don't sugarcoat a damn thing. I give you the straight facts, and that's that. And if you don't like it, there's the door, right? Anyway, guys, welcome to today's show. Welcome, guys. I want to plug in a clip, literally, that's just, that got me. Literally got me, guys. Now, okay, and before I plug in this clip, guys, I want to get into a lot of topics here on the show today. Literally, like, are we doomed as a country? Literally, are we doomed? Did COVID break us? Did COVID break our society? Did it break our culture? Are we seeing literally the end of our democracy, meaning our liberties and freedoms? Are they basically gone forever? Well, there's a lot of questions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of views on that topic. I'm getting a lot of emails from a lot of listeners and followers that tune into my show on a daily or a weekly basis. And they're asking me the same thing, Mike. What do you think, or where do you think our country's going? Guys, I could tell you one damn thing. One thing right now. Our country is going down a dark path, right? Let me get this straight before I continue the show. It's going down dark paths. We are seeing literally our freedoms and our democracy being ripped in half. Ripped in half. It's crazy. It really is. It's really crazy. By the way, producer Josh, thank you for plugging in some sound effects in the background with some cars passing by. Thank you very much, because, literally, that's the society we become, right? I wanted to use the cars effect to kind of, explain to the listeners of just how much of a society we become. A super busy, super... it's crazy. It's crazy. It's nonstop. The hysteria, the madness, the chaos of what we are seeing from this form of government, guys. And I do want to apologize on a lot of different angles. I'm sorry that I didn't get a show in yesterday because, as much of you realize, we live in a third world country now where everything has to be pre-approved, pre-authorized, screened, everything else. This isn't, the United States of America that it once was just a short 12 to 13 months ago. Everything has changed after this January of 2021. It's changed drastically. We live in a new form of America. We are more divided. There's no culture whatsoever in this country. And if there is a culture, it's coming from other countries. We have to literally pretty much bend the knee, so to speak, to other countries. We have to abide by their so-called views and their images. Our borders are wide open, literally wide the fuck open. There's no language in this country. Everything, like I said, is censored and everything else. So I do apologize for yesterday's show. We did have a show, literally a special show. I want to allow my listeners. There was a special show that was uploaded on our Facebook page, which I guess big tech giants decided to take it down. So I do apologize. It wasn't advertised. It was going to be special for you, the listeners and followers of our social media platforms, both Instagram and Facebook, along with our new friends of Rumble. I'm sorry. That's why I'm doing a show today, to make up for it. So thank you, Zuckerberg, for shadowing me once again, because the people over there in San Francisco can't handle the conservative truth. Thank you. Bunch of assholes, if you ask me. Anyway, guys, I want to get into this breaking news. Yes, breaking news that now the FDA authorizes COVID-19 vaccine for children 5 to 11. What? Guys, this is the most critical part of a child of ages 5 to 11. This is the critical, most important part of their bodies to be immune to diseases and viruses. This is the time when they need to develop natural immunity. I mean, am I wrong? Can I get a set of hands, producer Josh, Mika? I mean, am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. They need to develop natural immunity. Stop sticking freaking needles in kids' arms. But according to the CDC, Dr. Doom Fauci thinks that children need to get the jab. They need to protect themselves, he says. Guys, protect what? If you need to protect yourselves from getting the freaking COVID-19 vaccine. I mean, that's, you want to fact check that? Go ahead. By all means, go ahead. Go in your little basements, go in your little studios, your offices, wherever these little independent fact checkers, okay, that work for big social, literally, giants of big tech. Because that's all they do for their life. They don't have no life. They have to sit on their little keyboards and click, 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 click away. Oh, he's not right. He's not right. I'm going to fact check it. I'm going to put it on the internet. I'm going to make his life a living hell because he's wrong. That's not the truth. That's not the truth. Guys, come on with that garbage. Seriously. You guys got to listen to this. Josh, plug this in here. I mean, this is terrible. CDC wants children 5 to 11 now to get the COVID-19 jab. Check this out, guys.
But we do begin tonight with the FDA issuing that emergency use authorization late today for Pfizer's child vaccine. Children 5 to 11, the first COVID vaccine authorized for that younger age group. The first 15 million doses expected to go out across the country within 24 hours. About 28 million children are now newly eligible. 2 shots, just like adults. But the shots themselves, smaller needles and about 1/3 the dose that was given to adults. Meantime, tonight, the mandates here in New York City tonight, thousands of...
Yeah, before I get into the mandates here, that was my next topic here, or along with other topics, guys, because we're literally, guys, we are doomed as a nation. Literally doomed as a nation. We are seeing, like, crazy amounts of just madness, hysteria, fear-mongering on all of us from this radical left, guys. Check this out. Before I go into this here. More mandates, guys. Federally forced mandates. Check this out, guys.
Thousands of city workers have been protesting today's 5 p.m. deadline to be vaccinated or be suspended Monday without pay. At the same time, though, the NYPD now says more than 1,000 first doses were administered just yesterday, more today, and that 80% of the force is now vaccinated, and that the NYPD tonight is in good shape for Monday morning. This evening,
Yeah. Guys, stop it right there. What the hell is wrong with our country? Where are we going? 80%? Did you hear that, guys? 80% of the New York police force has been vaccinated. Oh, have they been vaccinated against their own free will? They have, guys. That's the truth. They have. CNN, MSNBC, not reporting on it. Once again, they don't tell you the closing part of that segment. They've been vaccinated against their own free will in order to keep the job. So, if you're a police officer, a nurse, or anybody that works for a company or an establishment, according to Dictator Biden, you need to get the job in order to keep your jobs. Oh, okay. So, what about last year? In the beginning, towards the middle of this pandemic, okay? Which I don't even call it a pandemic. If anything, it's a control mechanism by the radical left that they are implying on the American people. They're forcing this on American individuals. The livelihoods of Americans have changed drastically since mid-May, around the summertime, when they were trying to literally force all the vaccines. Remember when Biden said last year that our obligations as an administration will not be forced upon with vaccines towards American citizens? Remember when he said that? I mean, seriously. He literally said last year, and you can look it up, that I will not, under any circumstances, or even think about forcing this on American citizens. Oh, okay. If you believe that, guys, keep on drinking the Kool-Aid. Keep on drinking the Kool-Aid there from the socialist radical left party. Terrible, guys. Terrible what's going on. Literally. Now, I want to get into another article here from a Democrat senator, Coons, literally saying that people with natural immunity, she's against this, guys. That's a shocker. She's against this this vaccination. She's now saying that people with natural immunity who have antibodies shouldn't get fired for not getting vaccinated. Huh, you think? You think? I don't think anybody should get fired or forced to take this literally experimental drug that we still don't know anything about. We don't know what's in it. We don't know where it was made, where it was truthfully made. Okay? They could tell you that it was made in a very secured, monitored lab under surveillance and everything else. They could tell you that to the cows come home, literally, guys. Okay? But are you going to believe this garbage? I'm not. I'm not going to believe one damn thing that any of these Democrats say. Because, guys, this party is not for the American people. Okay? This is coming out of a Democrat senator saying that she does not support Biden's forced mandate policy, saying that if you have natural immunity, you shouldn't get fired for not getting vaccinated. Yeah. If you have natural immunity, guys, okay, you don't need a PhD, you don't need a medical degree, anything like that, guys. If you have natural immunity, why should you get vaccinated? Why? Why should you get vaccinated if you have natural immunity, natural antibodies in your body that were designed by the Almighty God himself to fight against viruses, diseases, and bacteria. If you rarely get sick, you rarely develop any type of any of that, why should you put a drug in your body? I mean, seriously, it's common sense, right, guys? Common sense, right? I mean, like, why would you put it in your body if you don't need it? It's like, for an example, right? You want me to give you another example? Like, why would you take a Tylenol or any form of a pill when you don't even have a headache or you don't even have maybe a muscle cramp? Like, why would you take medication for that? That's like duh. Like, why would you do that? Huh? What was it? The old show, right, Josh? What was that show, man? Like, back in the day, what was it? The Three Idiots. God, you know who I'm talking about, right? Mo, Larry, and Curly, those guys, right? Like, Larry would be like, "Hey, Mo, why would you do that, huh? Why? What are you, an idiot?" Yeah. What are you, an idiot, guys? Like, why would you do that? Check this video out, guys. It's a 7-minute clip, but I'll basically fast forward, have producer Josh literally go through the different clips here of literally yesterday's ABC broadcast, real time. Senator Chris Coons, literally a Democrat out of Delaware, yeah, Joe Biden's alley, right? Literally said that the people who have natural immunity from the coronavirus due to a prior COVID infection shouldn't be fired because they won't get vaccinated as long as they test positive for COVID antibodies. So basically what she's applying on, literally before I plug this in here so I can, pretty much elaborate to the listeners here that, you shouldn't get fired because you won't get vaccinated. If you test positive for antibodies, that's an entirely different scenario, guys. An entirely different scenario. Like, if you test positive, there should be other factors in that equation, pretty much, guys. Check this out. I mean, it's what? Check, yeah. Sound clip number 4, please, Josh.
I'm not sure what the latest Dr. Fauci thing was on Halloween. He changes his mind a lot, but I think it was
You think?
Go and do it. I hope so, because it certainly has been my position since the beginning of this. Just resume living. I mean, come on. The 15 of 100,000. That's where we are at cases in California. 15 cases per 100,000 people. I know some people seem to not want to give up on the wonderful pandemic, but you know what? It's over. There's always going to be a variant. You shouldn't have to wear masks.
Amen.
I haven't had a meeting with my staff since March of 2020. Why? I don't know, the state, the corporate, whoever it is. You're being fucking... Sorry again.
Why is he apologizing to me?
I know, because you're a senator and you shouldn't hear bad language. I forget. I'm
Never
sorry.
heard that word. Never heard that.
I know. But really, I mean, and also vaccine, mask, pick one. You got to pick. You can't make me mask if I've had the vaccine.
I have broken up with COVID. It's not working for me anymore. I stayed home the first year. I was a good girlfriend. He was a little abusive. Then I got the vaccine. I walked out of the CVS. I hadn't been that thrilled coming out of a drugstore since I got the birth control pill in 1981. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm back. And it was the same thing. I knew. It's like, okay, I'm not going to need this every day. But when I do need it, it's on board. And then I barely got there, and it was like, oh, it's Delta. So I can't keep up. And you know what? I have cancer. I'm triple vaxxed. If it gets me, fair play to it, because it will put up a fight against me, but I'm not staying in my house again.
There you go.
Guys, the American people get this thing, right? I mean, we're not stupid. We have common sense. You know, like, the majority of us have common sense. I mean, this is silly, guys. This is silly. Pick one. You want to wear a mask ahead. If it makes you feel better, put the damn mask on. You want to get a vaccination because, you know, the radical left are saying, you know, you should get a vaccination. Get the vaccination. But don't make a fucking stink about it. That, you know, like, oh, he's not getting vaccinated, so he's a bad American. I mean, that's like going back to a 1980s British infomercial or, you know, some kind of show. Bad American, right? I mean, come on. Come on, guys. This is terrible. Literally terrible. Check this out. More here on the on ABC. ABC's. Yeah, ABC will never show this. On HBO's Real Time. We'll check this out here. More of this video, guys. I mean, this is. I'm applauding this show. Producer Josh, I gotta watch this show. It's on HBO, right? Yeah. Guys, I'm gonna sign up for HBO just to watch this damn show. This is more on the Real Time, last night's Friday broadcast.
Cool. Especially of one party. Get such a bad idea. Where did that come from?
So here's the good news. We've got safe, effective vaccines that have saved millions and millions of lives. Here's the bad news. 700,000 Americans have died.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of them needlessly. So I'm willing to give President Trump and the previous administration and the Congress credit for Operation Warp Speed, for developing these remarkable, life-saving, world-saving vaccines. But I frankly think we shouldn't let up on the urgency of still promoting vaccination so we can enjoy reopening our society, getting back to normal life.
Okay. But there is no consensus really on that number of how many have died exactly from COVID or complications from COVID. I mean, just anecdotally, when Colin Powell...
Hundreds of thousands.
Yes, people died, but like Colin Powell died. He had cancer and Parkinson's, and all I heard was he died from COVID.
Right.
Complications. Yes, if you're very sick, something, you know, is going to...
Well, there was a woman, it was in all the, it was in the New York Times, like, she's 113 and COVID took her out. Well, I mean, she's 113, you know, it's like, that's enough. That's enough of you, you know? But I'm telling you, I have cancer
Tip,
a lot.
Don't run for office.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you can't run.
I know a lot of people
you'll
with
lose
cancer.
you'll lose the 113-year-old vote.
Yeah, exactly.
The centenarian demographic.
But, you know, because I look at numbers all the time because of cancer, I look at this COVID stuff, and it's like, yes, anyone I know with cancer would give anything for those odds, 0.89 or whatever. And we're looking at people with complicated health histories a lot of the time. We're looking at obesity as an issue, but no one wants to say it because it's body positivity. And we're looking at poverty. That's where we need to be focused, is people who live really close together. But there's a lot of people within different poor communities who don't want to take it. We just have to take our chances, be thoughtful and careful, and go back out there and make sure that people who live in dense housing have complete access to the vaccine. And if they don't want to take it...
Yeah, we got to get back to life. I mean, you look at the sporting events that are... All three sports are playing now, including basketball, which is inside. Nobody seems to be having super spreader events. I mean, you know, it was great. It was so much fun having a pandemic. But, you know, bye-bye. Okay.
Yeah, bye-bye. Bye-bye. It's time to get on to life, guys. Get on to life. Get back to what we were supposed to be doing. And that's that. We shouldn't be politicizing this. Guys, this isn't a pandemic. This is a politicizing an event, message, whatever the hell you want to call it, by the radical left. That you know, this is a crisis that they don't want to give up. I'll tell you why they don't want to give up on this damn thing. Because they don't have a message for the American people. They don't have agendas. They're using COVID because that's all they have. That's all they have. It's a population control mechanism. And that's that. That's my opening, guys. I'll be right back after these words. Don't go anywhere.
Do this.
should probably get out of here.
Ghostbusters Afterlife, rated PG-13.
It's time to reconnect with travel. Kayak searches hundreds of travel sites and shows you which flights are waiving change fees, so you can spend the rest of 2021 doing what you do best. Kayak. Search one and done.
With Squarespace, editing and adding pieces on my e-commerce site is quick and easy, so I can focus more on the creative part of my business.
Secured my decision. I don't know the long-term effects.
I opted to take the unpaid leave.
Karen Roses is a patient care technician at a New York hospital. Rob Erbst, a married father of 3 boys, spent 17 years at a New York City high school as a phys ed teacher. Raquel Martinez is a pediatric occupational therapist. They all reached the same conclusion about vaccine mandates. Why did you decide to put your livelihood on the line?
I felt like I didn't have much of a choice in the matter, that I was being forced to do something, to put something into my body.
I felt that what they were doing, what they have done, is they've basically held for ransom your health insurance, your benefits, your livelihood, your career in some cases.
A decision pulling at Raquel's heart.
My last task at my job was laminating hearts for my students. And I was able to place them in boxes. I'm getting very emotional because I miss them.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to stop it right there. Guys, these are workers fired, okay? And, the names won't be given out on the show for privacy issues. But, guys, these are workers literally fired for refusing the jab, the vaccine. They're speaking out, guys. These are Americans that put their commitment, their hearts, their blood, their sweat, their tears into these companies, careers that they made for themselves over the years. These are thousands of people. Literally, I only plugged in the show, just a few people here through sound clips here. Okay, guys, these are thousands of people that are losing their jobs because they refuse to get the COVID vaccine. Now, some of them are speaking out about the fallout, just these couple of people. Literally. I mean, you could see one person, in this video, literally tears coming down her face. Guys, this is terrible. This is insanity. What has our country become? It's doomed in my eyes if we continue this type of crap. If you want to see what socialism does to a country, folks, you are seeing it right in front of your damn eyes. It's time to wake up. I'm glad that these people are standing their ground. I'm glad this is not my only line of work, podcasting. I do it on the side, folks, because I have a huge passion for public speaking through a digital service such as podcasting and video podcasting that we're just getting into right now. I have a huge passion for public speaking because I believe myself, along with other podcasters, need to voice these messages. The more we voice this, I think we have a good fight on our hands, because we need to stand our grounds. We need to stand up and stand against tyranny, socialism, communism. We need to stand against all that. We need to fight against that. I feel your pain. I'm emphasizing people, literally, that are crying out. Because some of these people are scared to death, folks. They are scared to death that if they don't get vaccinated, they're going to lose their jobs. Is that a country we've become? Is that a country we have become? If you don't get vaccinated, you're going to lose your job? Folks, this is an attack on public health. Your human rights are being taken away. When the hell is people going to realize this? When are they going to realize? I mean, this is terrible. I'm getting from, one follower here on my blog, literally saying, if you have to wear both mask and glasses, you may be entitled condensation. What? I don't get that, but I wanted to plug it in anyway. I don't get what they're trying to imply, but, thank you, Chico, coming out of Miami, Florida. Thank you very much for that comment. Another comment. Comments all day, guys. Both on social media, emails, my personal blog. I get them all the time. All the time. We are living through tyranny and forced agendas by this administration. Coming out of Gary, out of Birmingham, Alabama. Thank you, Gary, for that one. Kudos to Mike of the Patriot Angle podcast for literally exposing the real truth in all of this. Thank you, Sherry, coming out of Dallas, Texas. A big following in Dallas. Thank you for my listeners and followers out of Dallas. A lot of support coming out of Dallas, which I have a lot of support throughout the United States and also in other countries such as the United Kingdom, Canada, Great Britain, all over the country, literally. Thank you very much for literally supporting this podcast. It means a lot, guys. It means a lot. My body, my choice, not the government's choice. It is not their choice to dictate my livelihood. Rugen, coming out of Toronto, Canada. Thank you, Rugen. Pronouncing that right? Rugen? Yes, Rugen. Producer Josh corrected me on that. Thank you very much, Josh. Rugen, thank you very much out of Canada. Appreciate that. Can't agree with what you are saying, Mike, but the radical left have turned this country into a third world nation. Okay. That's coming out of Jones, out of Brooklyn, New York. Thank you very much. Guys, I want to get into all of them, but, there are a lot of emails that are constantly popping up from different episodes we do, current and past. I want to get into that, but, guys, it's just so many, just emails, comments, concerns. Guys, it's a lot. Guys, I want to get into this this article here out of Breitbart here. I'm going to plug it in here. Producer Josh pulling up the article. Thanks very much, guys. And this is exclusive. You can read it on Breitbart. I love Breitbart. They're very conservative. And guys, if you heard my podcast episode the other day, I got into a segment, an article that Facebook is really worried about Breitbart. Oh, really? Why are they so worried about Breitbart? Are they mad because they tell the truth? Are they worried that Breitbart is becoming a bigger commodity than Facebook? Or is it that Breitbart just delivers positive facts? There's no hogwash. There's no, this or that. There's none of that. First of all, Breitbart doesn't censor you. They don't shadow ban you. They're not that type of a platform. They're a conservative platform that delivers facts, whether they don't support the facts or that. They're unbiased. They're not a biased company such as Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all others. Yes, I'm talking to you, big tech. They're none of that. That's what I love about Breitbart. They're awesome. Anyway, this article here, literally right on the top of Breitbart.com, exclusive. Glenn Youngkin, McAuliffe, is the godfather of the modern-day Progressive Democrat Party. What? Let's listen to this here. Oh, now I understand. I'm just getting this article for the first time, guys. I do apologize. This was a little sound clip I plugged into the Facebook page of the Patriot Angle podcast, as well as our Instagram page, with literally another cringe of Kamala Harris. Literally, I mean, the woman's weak. I think she does know that her own administration is failing on a lot of different angles. Okay, you guys, you want to check out that little clip I plugged in? Head over to my Facebook page, the Patriot Angle podcast, and also my Instagram page, Patriot_Angle_Unfiltered, and you could see that in just a short little clip that we plugged in. I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, guys, if you want me to read more about this article here, I don't mind, because this is rather interesting here. This is just more patheticness coming out of the radical left Democrats. That Virginia's Republican Glubber candidate, Glenn Youngkin, told Breitbart News Saturday, just earlier today, that his campaign is going into Election Day with a ton of momentum, as Virginians are rejecting Democrat Terry McAuliffe, the godfather of the modern-day Progressive Democratic Party. His decisive campaign, as viewers unite around issues on education, lower taxes, better jobs, and the fundamental desire for a government that doesn't tell us what to do all the time. Thank God that Virginia, literally Virginia, is leaning red. There's a red wave coming in Virginia. I've been telling my listeners, my followers on social media that, the red wave is literally alive in Virginia. And, that relates to the clip that we plugged in, that little clip. You got to watch it. It's very pathetic on Kamala Harris's part. She knows that they need Virginia, because Virginia forever, guys, was literally a blue state, and it's leaning red here for Terry McAuliffe. I can never pronounce his last name, but I think you know what I'm talking about. He's pulled ahead of Democrat, I said that backwards. Let me rearrange myself. Producer Josh Water, please. Thank you. We're getting into the almost the top of the hour here of the podcast. That Glenn Youngkin has pulled ahead of Democrat McAuliffe by 8 points. It's going to be a neck-to-neck campaign race between the both of them. But I'm pulling for Republican Glenn. I really am. I think he could change a lot for the state on a lot of good measures: low taxes, better jobs. Look what we're seeing out of Florida. With Ron DeSantis, literally a power governor. Ron DeSantis. Tremendous, phenomenal, messages, agendas that Ron DeSantis is pulling out of his great state of Florida. We all knew that Florida, guys. We thought it was going to fold after the pandemic. We thought because Florida is mainly a hotel type of industry of a state. They rely on their hotels for their economy. They rely on theme parks such as Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, and such. They rely on all that, guys. And the pandemic, yes, it hit the hotel industry along with theme parks in that state. But guys, we're seeing massive growth, job growth in Florida. I posted just a little article on my Facebook page and Instagram, just what Ron DeSantis is doing. From phenomenal job, that governor, power governor. Like I said, just the other day on the Patriot Brief here that Ron DeSantis, guys, is literally not only the governor, but he's the president of his own state. The guy is... if I don't see him running for the president or even vice president of the United States in 2024, I'd be very shocked. I think we know who is going to be on the ticket for 2024. I've said it time after time. I could totally see that ticket there for the Republican Party with Trump / DeSantis or DeSantis / Trump, either or. Those two would work phenomenal together. Not only do they show a conservative platform on their base, but they're awesome leaders in that aspect, guys. Awesome. So, back to the Virginia segment here. I applaud Republican Youngkin for what his message and his movement that he wants for his state of Virginia. Because we know that Virginia has been struggling on a lot of different things in the past years. Like he said, he wants government between parents and their children, politicians and bureaucrats dictating what our kids are doing. Youngkin said, speaking of the explosive issue of Loudoun County's cover-up, which is in Virginia, of alleged assault and rape, noting officials knew and tried to hide it. This is going to the segment here that that Youngkin is saying, which Breitbart News actually tweeted out just a couple days ago, the 26th, that students at Broad Run High School in Loudoun County, Virginia, walked out of school Tuesday morning in support of sex assault victims in the school district and demand safety. They demand safety. You know what's sick, guys? When Democratic leadership, and this is what goes on in our country, it's been going on forever, mainly in Democratic-run counties and cities all across America, that when you have sex crimes, they cover it up. They try to literally cover everything about it. It's like tuck it under the rug, right? Tuck it under the rug. Let's But let's be real here. Instead of investigating concerned parents with Biden's blessing, Youngkin said the FBI should be investigating that issue. He said there should be firings in the states that do not handle these issues correctly. And he vowed that the new state's new attorney general in Virginia will go to work on this issue. I applaud you. Thank you very much, Youngkin. Which also Youngkin emphasized that the education issues are not just big in Virginia, noting that he is getting feedback from parents across the country who say the same issues are happening in their areas. He said those parents are pleading, please, Virginia, make a statement for us. Yeah, you need a big statement. Because if your Democratic leadership is not doing anything about this, it's a big issue and a big statement that needs to be addressed across the board. Also, in closing, Terry McAuliffe is literally for big government and for population control. Literally. Which, guys, it's being watered down. Over the last 8 years under this Democratic leadership in Virginia, it's a watered down system. There's no fundamental system whatsoever in the state of Virginia. Virginia's in trouble, guys. They need Republicans. The entire system now in Virginia and along in this country, guys, is broken under this Democratic leadership. It's terrible. It really is. Guys, I want to get into a couple more topics here before we close it out on the show. I know we're running low on time. We usually like to keep our podcast episodes between an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. But guys, I want to get into a couple topics here. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to take a quick little break, and we'll be right back after these words.
Students with ADHD save 10 hours studying with this Chrome extension. But no, by all means, go ahead, skip the ad, save a few seconds.
I have to do a lot of reading for my job, emails, reports, write-ups, but sometimes reading can get really, really tiring. To stay focused, I use a free Chrome extension called Speechify. All I do is highlight the text, right-click, and then Speechify reads it out to me.
SEC data show $359 million of GameStop shares failed to deliver.
I can increase the speed and can pick from a variety of really high-quality voices, which just makes it so much easier to focus. I can now listen twice as fast as I can read, and my eyes don't get strained, especially if I'm working late at night. And with one click, I can send whatever I'm reading to my phone so I can listen to it on the go.
Use Speechify for free on Google Chrome, so you can spend less time reading and more time doing what you love.
Where have all the men gone? That's the focus of tonight's angle. Now, once relegated to women's studies classrooms and college campuses, the phrase toxic masculinity entered our cultural vernacular a few years ago. Now, this was around the time that the American Psychological Association jumped in to warn that males who socialize to conform to traditional masculinity ideology are often negatively affected in terms of mental and physical health. Well, the argument is that boys are conditioned to be tough and not show weakness. That's a bad thing, I guess. And then by suppressing boys' feelings, their emotions, then they're likely to be more prone to violence or aggression, more likely to end up in prison or in trouble at school. And people who work in gender studies programs, they're dead set against the old confining rules of masculinity. And you'll see this in a highly produced Hollywood conversation.
Yeah, guys, that was on the Ingram angle. What was that, last night? I believe that was last night. Yeah, last night on the Ingram angle. Laura Ingram literally explains that America is quite lost. Yes, guys, like I've labeled this podcast episode today, that, are we doomed as a nation? Has our culture been exiled? Has our society literally been exiled? Has our way of life been exiled? Has everything in our country that we hold dear to our hearts been exiled? Has it gone away forever? Is there a fighting way or any type of way we can get all this back? Everything back. Freedoms, liberties, everything. Our way of life. Can we walk into a freaking restaurant without having to put a freaking muzzle on our face? Can we go into stadiums, sporting events, without showing a vaccine passport or a negative test? Do we have to have fear in our hearts while working in a job, a company, an establishment, knowing that my job is on the line if I don't get vaccinated? Guys, this is the America that we have become because we elect stupidity, morons into office that lie to us, that say that everything is going to be okay when it truly isn't. Now I'm on this one topic here with, where have the real men gone? And this is relating to my segment, my title here on the podcast, that American masculinity is literally gone. Literally. I mean, it's bye-bye. There is no American man anymore. The American man has left when Trump left office. Well, at least we've seen an American man that was running the White House on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Because we're seeing a puppet that's running the White House. Literally a puppet on the strings that's controlling that puppet of the Pelosi machine. That's who's truly running this country. And what's sad about this, guys, is that this Democratic Party doesn't care about the ratings. They don't care about poll numbers. They can care less. They care more about destroying our country than poll numbers. We're seeing that. Literally seeing that. What does this have to do with American masculinity? A lot. A lot. Literally a crying shame. But I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I won't give up. I'll preach it till the cows come home. Make America great again. Again. It's time to make America great again. Again. We live in a country. Matter of fact, I don't even think we live in a country. I think we live in a third world society of tyrants that have grasp and control over literally everything that we do in life. This is the most deranged part of our history as a nation. But relating to Laura Ingraham, it's good to see a major news network starting to talk about the Mansosphere that has been trying to warn people about for several years. We've seen where we were going to become as a nation. Donald Trump warned us many times over that if you elect this type of leadership, this is what you will get. We know that. I mean, how is anyone surprised that men, men, won't risk their life or freedom for people who routinely slander them and constantly create or allow to be created laws that crucify men for getting involved at all for any reason? They have done the same thing with literally everything around them. Men won't stand up for themselves, nor women, because we become a country that has been silent by this radical left. If you stand up, if you voice your opinions, you are criticized in so many ways. You are literally considered an evil person for even bringing up the article to begin with. And this goes on to my next segment related to this. If men won't stand up, where is the women on that issue? Why won't women stand up? You know what's going on around you, right? If you see your fellow man being shadowed, being censored, being silenced, why won't you stand up? I've heard for years we need a woman movement in this country. Well, there you go, women. There's your chance. There's your line of shine to shine up against this craziness that we see in this country. You want a woman movement? There you go. There you go. It's time to stand up, guys. Enough of this garbage. Enough of it. It's terrible. I want to bring in this last topic here, guys, before I close it out. Like I said, running low on the time here on the show. relating to before I get into that, guys, I want to bring in a new sponsor here on the show. Really good sponsor, guys. I want to thank the people over at StreamYard for giving us the opportunity to elaborate ourselves as a video podcast now. Yes, guys, if you tuned into this past Wednesday show, Unfiltered Wednesday with Mike and Nicole, our good friend here on the podcast, Collectively Cole Rants, which was an awesome show. Thank you, Nicole, for coming on the show once again. Guys, she's a regular here now on the show. She is now my co-host on Wednesdays. Nicole of Collective Cole Rants will be joining us every Wednesday. And speaking of Wednesday, next Wednesday, guys, will be another video podcast as we will be streaming live with StreamYard in adjunction to YouTube, which will be launched on YouTube, Facebook, and others. Joining us on Unfiltered Wednesdays next week will be PJ, returning guest PJ. Haven't had him on the show in a while. PJ literally emailed me just about a couple days ago, actually, that he wants to come back on the show. He wants to, pretty much voice his political views and thoughts. A lot going on. He says, I want to get back on the show, Mike. So we took that into consideration. So we're going to have PJ join us from Archangel Protective Intelligence next Wednesday. Always a privilege and an honor to have PJ on the show. We're going to have him on the Wednesday show here next week, Unfiltered Wednesday with Mike and Nicole. So check that out, guys. I wanted to plug that in just before I forget, before the show ends here today. I want to get into an article here about Biden. Literally, about the viral chant, right? The Let's Go Brandon. That's gone viral, guys, for the last month and a half, almost 2 months now. The according to the Tampa Bay Times, seen this out of Tampa Bay Times, the anti-Biden, right? Why do we have to label it, right? But this is coming for the most popular president in American history, right? The most president to get more votes than any other president in political history, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, show me, guys. Show me the true facts about that, because we know that this guy is not the most popular president in not only modern but political history of the United States. Guys, this is the clip here I want to plug in from Tampa Bay Times that basically put this on their website. And we do have a video here we'll plug into the anti-Biden phrase, "Let's go Brandon." Literally, it's been going viral, guys, for the last month and a half, going on 2 months now. Check this out, guys. This is right now. This is right now. Thank you, Mika. Guys, I heard the digital arts and design manager here, Mika, right now. We're gonna plug this in because this is crazy, guys. Literally crazy. It started off with a chant that literally is going viral. You got to check this out, guys.
At Sidecar Health.
Yeah. Guys, I'll fast forward into this. The phrase that took off after a reporter at NASCAR race mischaracterized an F Joe Biden chant from the crowd as a support for driver Brandon Brown. I'll plug into it a little bit here where it goes into the congressional part of it. Just fast forward it right about there. Here we go. That now Republicans of all stripes, even in Congress now, are saying, let's go Brandon, when they want to insult the president without hurling obscenities. You can't say that in Congress. There goes your First Amendment, right? Your free speech. You can't say that. I guess we don't have free speech in this country anymore. That's another thing that they're trying to take away, the radical left. That literally, it's obscenities in Congress to even say it. Check this out, guys.
To the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Posey. I thank the gentleman from Texas for yielding. Mr. Speaker, they want you to help put America back where you found it and leave it the hell alone.
Amen.
Let's go, Brandon. I yield back.
Once this phrase kind of took off, it's shown up everywhere on social media. It's been on.
Yeah, guys. That was Bill Posey, of representative out of Florida. And it's not going away, guys. It's not going away. There's more, literally more chanting all over the country. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. But they're really saying, guys, fuck Joe Biden. Now check this out, guys.
Than they ever have before. So I think we're at a point now, more than 18 months into the pandemic, where people are just frustrated. They're frustrated with the shifting guidance on vaccinations, on booster shots, on mask mandates, and how those are playing out in different local and national contexts. And so I think this phrase has sort of gotten a lot of attention and gotten a lot of popularity because it gives people a kind of shorthand, jokey way to feel like they're exercising some sort of control or some sort of defiance of those in authority when they're really frustrated about so many aspects of their lives.
The one that comes most to mind is Afghanistan. It wasn't a success. Supply ships stacked up off the coast are not a success. The southern border and whatever Biden thinks he's going to do about it is not a success. In all these cases, Biden is running up against what people see, and they're saying, look, my eyes tell me one thing, and you're telling me that I ought to believe something else. I'm going to believe what I used to call my lying eyes. No government can really survive very well, and certainly not a republic or a democracy, if people don't have confidence in their institutions. Brandon is the so-called tip of the proverbial iceberg.
Yeah, guys. A constitutional republic, a society, a government system cannot survive, and this is my closing here before I close it out here on today's podcast. Guys, this is my closing. None of that can survive. None of that can survive if we allow our government, which was founded by our four founding fathers, okay, to not be big government. We were never designed to be big government. We were designed to have a government, though, to basically guide us and protect us from not only foreign threat, but domestic threat. Let's set that aside, guys. You're not seeing foreign threat whatsoever in this administration. Thank God. And I'm not using that in vain, okay? You are seeing a government literally posing a domestic threat on our livelihoods with this whole COVID hysteria. In order to defeat this domestic threat on our homeland, we need to, as Americans, as citizens of the United States of America, to speak up against this tyranny, this, whatever you want to call it, forced mandates that are very unconstitutional in a lot of people's eyes. Stand up against that, fight against that, and you will have your country back. Mark my words. This is not the first merry-go-round that we've seen in this country. This country has been through similar paths before. We can defeat this, folks. But we must unite as one American people. Let's cut the divideness out. Let's cut the racial crap out. Let's cut all of that crap out. Let's come together as one united people, and we'll defeat this madness once and for all. Guys, thank you for joining us today on today's podcast, this audio podcast. Remember, next Wednesday, we will be doing a dual podcast, which will include the video podcast and the audio podcast of Unfiltered Wednesday with Mike and Nicole. Joining us on that podcast will be special guest PJ of Archangel Protective Intelligence Services, okay? And also, too, guys, if you ever want to hear a past episode prior to this current episode that we are having now, you can follow us on Spotify, the Patriot Angle Podcast, as well as Google and Apple Podcasts. You can also follow me on my Facebook page, the Patriot Angle Podcast, as well as our Instagram page, Patriot_Angle_Unfiltered. Check me out on Instagram. Got a lot of great content on Instagram. A lot of those little mini clips, people love seeing them. Okay, they also love seeing the mini clips that we plug into our Rumble page. Check me out on Rumble. Patriot Angle Podcast on Rumble. And also, too, guys, check us out on YouTube. We are now on YouTube, which next week's stream will be plugged into our YouTube channel, Patriot Angle Podcast. So follow me on YouTube, follow me on social media, and follow us on our podcast platforms. Guys, it's been a privilege. It's been an honor to deliver this episode to you. Keep on fighting. Don't lose that conservative movement. And let's not be silenced anymore. Thank you. Make America great again. And God bless the United States of America. Hey guys, this episode today is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Next time, guys, you want to go online, whether it's your phone, your tablet, or your laptop, you can now feel safe by going online safely with just a few taps with ExpressVPN, engineered to protect your privacy and security. Check them out on Google Play or the App Store. Just key in ExpressVPN and they'll pop right up. Right now, folks, they have a 7-day free trial. That's right. Download it for free on your Android phone, tablet, or TV, or on the App Store, ExpressVPN. Connect to 3,000 plus VPN servers in 160 locations in 94 countries. Safely access an unrestricted world of great content and apps with powerful speed and unlimited bandwidth. Protect your data and online activity with best-in-class encryption. Secure your connection on public Wi-Fi hotspots. Folks, it's also the industry's leading privacy protection. Browse in peace while keeping your IP address and location private. Under their strict privacy policy, they don't collect activity logs or connection logs. It's been independently audited to ensure your protection. So if you want to go online without worrying that your data or your online activity is going to be hacked or looked at, download ExpressVPN today, guys.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.